Hey everybody, welcome back. We got more power stations to review, and today we're going to take a look at the WAKYME 520 watt portable power station. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today I have a little bit more on the expensive side power station. We've been reviewing some ones that were very economical. This one costs a little bit more, but it's also a 500 watt with a surge to 1000 watt portable power station. It's equipped with a 520 watt hour or 140,400 milliamp hour lithium ion battery pack. Has a nice handle to carry it around. Lots of nice features in it. We'll get into them in a second. The front panel has 220 volt AC ports here and here, okay? And you've got 4 DC 12 volt ports plus a cigarette lighter adapter. That's in the middle here. Okay, and your cigarette lighter adapter. You also have 3 regular USB ports, one of which is a quick charging USB 3.0 port, and a Type-C charge port as well. So there's your Type-C. These are your 2 regular 1 amp, and this is your 2 amp USB charger. So all in all, it's got a ton of features on it. You do have 2 ways to charge it. Well, you actually have 3 ways to charge it, but you do have 2 plugs to charge. You've got your Anderson power pole plug here, which I do like because a lot of my ham radio stuff comes with that pole. And you also have your 5.5 millimeter socket. We'll be using this one today from a solar panel. I have a 100 watt solar panel that we're going to test it with. It does do pass through as well, so we're going to be charging it as we're actually using the battery as well, charging and running a bunch of different devices. It has really nice cooling. One of the things I noticed when I really ran this to its limit the other day was it's got pass through cooling here and here. So your cooling goes from this side to this side, and it just sucks it in on one side, blows it out on the other. So you get that nice cross breeze in here, and it never got warm on me at all. Now this solar generator is compatible with 120 watts or 6 amp max solar panels. They aren't included. We'll be using a 100 watt foldable one today for the video. It can be fully charged in 8 to 10 hours in the full sun. A wall socket will do about 8 to 10 hours as well. And if you plug it into the 12 volt socket of your car, you'll probably get it charged in 8 to 10 hours. However, do not leave this running, plugged in charging, while your car is not running. You want your alternator to be charging your battery so it can charge this one. Now, one of the cool things about this is that it has separate switches. So if I turn the unit on here with the power button, and you will see it has a battery there, and I just want to use the USB, I can do that. And it will show you. It's got the Type-C going, the USB 3.0, and the USB-C. Now let's say I want to use DC as well, but I don't want these guys turned on. I just hit DC. So now you'll see that little circle down there, which is this section here. Okay. Now if I want to use all 3 at the same time, I turn on the AC, and it is a pure sine wave AC inverter. Okay. So you've got everything running at once, plus the DC, everything running at once, and you'll be able to see what's going on. Now let's say I want to turn off the USB and turn off the DC, and I'm just plugging 2 things in. Well, then I can do it that way as well. My only complaint with this system is it doesn't show you the power that you're using, that you're consuming. It only shows you what's going on there as far as what's going out and if the battery's charged or low. It doesn't say, okay, this device is drawing 60 watts or you're drawing a total of 120 watts out of the unit. Other than that, I love the thing. So let's get into the specs on it. All right, first off, I'm going to let you know some of the dimensions on this. It's 12.5 inches by 7.86 by 6.9 thickness. Weighs about 6.57 pounds. I wasn't able to get it on my little scale out here accurately, but it's in that range. It does do pass-through charging, so you can charge this while you're running any of these devices on here, and it will work. It also has a nice pure sine wave inverter, so you don't have to worry about running sensitive electronics on it. A modified sine wave inverter sometimes will mess up some more sensitive electronics. So for those of us that are hams out there, we can wire up a little 5.5 millimeter plug and run our lower QRP powered rigs or our 2-meter 440 rigs on this without a care in the world. Plug in a panel, plug in your thing, run it all day, you're good to go. So, really neat system. It'll charge up smartphones 70 times. Laptops, now we're going around the 56 watt hours, about 8.5 times. A mini fridge, which we're going to test later. Actually, I have a mini freezer over there. It'll run for about 10 to 18 hours. A 32-inch flat screen TV, 6 to 7.5 hours. CPAP machine. I know a lot of you guys use these for CPAPs during power outages. 13 hours. Now a fan, 30 watt fan, you're looking at about 20 hours a fan. So all in all, those are pretty decent run times. So let me get this thing over in the back of my car. We're going to set this up like we'd be setting it up on the side of the road. Going to run a bunch of stuff off it and see how well it holds up. Alright, so we're out in the sun here. I'm going to have to move the camera around a little bit so you can actually see what's going on, because it's very bright. But what we're going to try to do today is plug in our drone battery up there for our drone. Okay, we got our freezer here, and this is set in, I think it's 52 degrees or 53 degrees when I last left it. We have a tablet to charge up over here, and we have an Olight, the Spring 2. Currently, behind you, I'll move the camera around to show you. I have a solar panel just laid out in my garage on the floor, outside of my garage. Alright, so we just moved the camera and it's spinning it around there. This is the solar panel. It's just a Rockpals 100-watt solar panel. I literally have it lying there on the ground. There's, I don't have it at an angle or anything, so we're just going to let that power it up. I'm going to point it back at the unit and see how we're doing over here when I plug it in and move the camera back up. Sorry for all the camera work today. Okay, so we're all set on that. I'm going to plug that in and show you what it looks like. And wrapped up there on the hitch. Okay, and there we go. We have input, we have power going. I'm going to move you close to that so you can see. See the battery going? Okay, so we are charging at the moment. Now we're going to start adding devices to it. The first thing I'm going to do is turn it on. Okay, so it is on. Now we're going to plug in our USB for our Olight. Turn that on. There we go. Don't know why I was hitting the DC button. I don't know if you can see it, but it is green. It is charging. Okay. And we are going to charge up our tablet. That one right there. Okay. There goes the tablet. The tablet is charging as well now. You heard that little noise. So now we're going to try to plug in the drone battery. Let me see which one is which here. There we go. And I'm going to put on the AC. I was hitting that before. I don't know why I was hitting it. There's the AC. Plug that in. There we go. And that's charging up top here. And now we're going to try the freezer. Okay, so I wanted to bring you into the drone battery. Again, it's very bright here. But you see that's charging now. All the other stuff is charging over there, my Olight and all that. Now we're going to try and plug in the refrigerator here, the freezer. And I'll show you that in a minute. Alright. And it's flashing down now. It does its countdown 4, 3, 2, 7, 8, 9. And there we go. Now I gotta let that start. It'll start in a second. Now we'll turn it on. There we go. So that's now running. I don't know if you can hear it. There's a fan running in there. And that's going to go down to 54 degrees. I'm going to move you in close for that too, so you can see. So all this is running, okay? You do have my drone battery here. You can see that charging away. My tablet, my flashlight. This guy here is running too. All this is running off that power pack. So we're going to let this run for a little bit and drive down the battery a little. And that will demonstrate the charging a little better, because it's kind of hard to demonstrate it while I'm running everything at the same time. This is where I was saying my only real complaint with this was it doesn't show me how much current I'm taking out of the unit at any time. It just shows me, yes, all this stuff's running, but it doesn't show me what's being drained. So we're going to come back and I'll show you how it charges up. Okay, I'm not seeing anything down on the battery. It's still saying it's full, but I'm sure there's a little drain, of course. The battery's still going up, charging up here. The interesting part here, and I'm going to move this off here so you can see this, it's gone down to 48 degrees, just running there, so it's really not even putting a dent in that. And I've got all my other stuff charging here. So what we're going to do now, I did notice one thing, okay? They say it's passed through. When I plug in the solar panel, the AC stops working. All the DC will work, but the AC turns off. So you can't run it with AC at the same time that you're charging with the solar panel, at least not on this unit. That's what I've discovered. It runs on the DC fine. All that stuff kept going. But the minute I plugged in the panel, it wouldn't do it. So let's unplug everything, and let's see how long it takes to charge that off and top it back off again. So I still have it in the car. Got it sitting right there. We're going to plug the solar panel into it now and see how far down it is. Again, it doesn't give you an amount of current that's coming in or out. It just will show you on the battery where it's at. I'm guessing it's maybe only down half a bar or a bar. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Try not to disturb the camera. Alright, so yeah, it's down 1 bar, according to that. And you can see the flashing there. So we're going to let that run, see how long it takes, and then we'll put it up on the counter, and we'll finish up, and I'll give you the information. The price on these, like I said, they're not cheap. It's $4.99, so it's $500, but for a reliable unit like this, that you can pretty much take anywhere with you and run, and you saw all it was running here, and I mean, granted, this freezer is probably only, 50 watts, and the charger for the thing is another maybe 50 watts, but still, that's 100 watts running and barely even put a dent in it, plus all the stuff I had plugged in on the DC side as well. So I'm really not complaining about that. You really can't beat that as far as it goes. I'm very pleased with it so far. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let this top off, and we'll bring it back up to the counter, and I'll give you some final information on it. Alright, so it had been about 10-15 minutes, and I'll show you. We're back up to a full battery here, no problem at all. Really quick, not a bad charge up. The lithium-ion batteries do tend to charge rather quickly, so can't complain about that. They say this has a life cycle of more than 1,000 charges or 1,000 drains and recharges. That's what they have there, greater than 1,000 times. So you will definitely get a good life out of this. For an indoor apartment type prepper, let's say you're up on the 20th floor of an apartment building, like I always say, and you got something like this, and you got a solar panel to hang in your window, you're going to do pretty well with this. Power outages, storms, disasters, anything like that, you're going to do okay, and you're going to always have power. For those of us who like to go maybe with our radios off grid, our QRP, our low power radios, something like this is awesome, definitely a cool little system that you could rig up. So definitely something that I would recommend to anybody who's looking to get a little more prepared. Definitely a way to have power whenever you need it in an emergency, or even in an area without power, a remote area if you go camping a lot. And it's a neat little system. It's well made, well put together. Feels like, it's not going to fall apart on me at any moment. So I'm definitely impressed with it. Let's talk about the accessories you get. Now the first thing you're going to get is your car adapter. That's going to plug into your car's cigarette lighter, and that's going to plug in your input there, and you're going to charge it. Again, 8 to 10 hours, so this is good for like a road trip. If you're going to camp somewhere, you're going to drive for 7, 8 hours, whatever. Charge it up on the way there. Maybe it's not all the way drained. You can charge it up on the way. Make sure that your car's running while this is running. Otherwise, you'll have a dead battery really quick. So, you get your car charger. You will get your wall charger. This one right here. Okay. With its 5.5 millimeter plug to plug in there. You will also get, which I find really cool, because a lot of these solar generator companies forget this. A lot of these power bank companies, they never include this. An adapter for solar panels. A lot of the bigger folding solar panels have this type of a connection. This is your positive and this is your negative. This will adapt into the 5.5 millimeter plug there. So that's a real plus right there. I like having that. So you're going to get that. You will get a manual. And the manual is very well thought out, very simple to read. There's nothing, it's not poorly written. Really impressed with that as well. So that is the WAKYME 520 watt portable power station. Like I said, they run $499.89, so let's face it, $500. They're not cheap, but if you need a lot of power in a hurry, definitely a good way to do it. You saw all that it was running. It was running a freezer in the back of my car. I really can't complain about that. So definitely a cool little system. I will put a link down below where you can pick it up in my Amazon affiliate store. Right down there. Underneath that is my Amazon affiliate store. If that's not what you're looking for and you just want to browse my store, click the link, shop as you normally would. If nothing's in there, no problem. Just go keep shopping. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link as well. Thrive has a bunch of more stuff back in stock, so make sure you check them out. And don't forget to check out our Food for Patriots link. If you're interested in getting stocked up on some freeze-dried food that you can just get, put away, and it's good for 25 years. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to plan for it other than making sure you got water to store to rehydrate it. That's the way to go. Definitely a good system, and you can save $100 on our 4-week kit right now. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Stay prepared.